Okay, you sidewinders. I look at the news from time to time. I don't watch it as much as I used to. Um, it's too depressing. It's too much on the mind and the body and the soul. Um, it's just too much shit going on in the world. But I try to keep up with the news, right? I try to keep up with the world events. And people ask, why this country, America, why this country is headed in the direction it's headed, right? I mean, how do we cope from the days that, we respected each other, we talked right, there was no disrespect to the flag, gun issues or gun rights were not an issue, um, we respected the law, right? Um, People that came to this country um, wanted to be part of this country, right? They wanted to be Americans. They were proud to say, hey, I'm an American, or I'm working toward being an American citizen. Those days have passed. Those days of the way that I was raised and saw the world and was brought up to be um, by those different standards and codes and, you know, passing on from grandparents. We don't live in that world anymore. Um, and it's sad. It's sad because it, it just made sense, right? Values, traditions, respect, communication, um, treating treating a person right. There's just so much busybody things going on in the world. Everybody has to keep it up with the Joneses. There's always a gun shooting here in America. Um, there's road rage. It's hot. Um, there's just a lot of issues, a lot of problems, and everybody has their views as how they see the world fit. Right? This is the way it is. This is right. That's wrong. Period. End of conversation. You're gonna do what I tell you to do. I'm gonna straighten your ass out. Right? That's a lot of mentality. When in fact we all just want a place in this country, right? We want to fit in. We want to find a place, a piece of heaven. This is my area. That's it. And I think about the way it used to be, the way it used to be in the bad sense, and the way it used to be in the good sense. You think about tribes, right? Indian tribes, Native Americans, and you think about cultures that stick together, and areas and communities, and you know, I guess segregation, if you want to say it. And birds flock together, right? You stick to your area, you stick to your group of people, you stick to religion, and to some degree, that's not a bad thing. And to other degrees, it is bad because then you kind of shut out the world. Um, you don't want to mix cultures or races or religions, right? And you don't grow as a community. And I wonder, how do we keep that preservation of, hey, we want to live this way, right? You guys want to live that way. You guys want to live that way. But let's share this land, right? Let's have rules and regulations. This is our kingdom, your kingdom, their kingdom, and so forth. But how do we all get along on the same land we call America? We all want to be part of a group, right? Whether it's a bike gang, whether it's a gun club, whether it's a religion group, whether it's a community where you live at, we all want to be a part of something, right? And we're proud of that. I'm proud to be a Texan. I've said that many times. Um, it's just something that I can't explain. You have to live in this state. You have to be born, bred. That's just my thought. A lot of people come here. They stay here. They live here, and they don't ever leave. And they do it for a reason. It's a pretty good state. But more people that come here, more people that change it. They change it to their idea of how it was over there, and they want to bring the ideas here. Just as foreigners come from other countries to here because of the benefits and freedoms and the culture, but they want to make it the way they remembered it. And it doesn't work like that. You can't take that lifestyle that you left and try to make it into the new land that you're like, hey, this is wonderful. This is a great land, great opportunity. I'm sorry, I'm flying off the cuff here. Back to communicating. Things are changing, right? The world is changing, this country is changing, and some of us are just seeing it fly by. It's like, it's just not the place that I remember, and it's sad. And one day you're gonna die, I'm gonna die, and it's gonna be left to our kids to figure out. Until then, I'm gonna do my best to be a good American, to communicate with my fellow man, live a good life, pass on whatever knowledge I can pass on to my kids, lead by example, hopefully become an old man and see my grandkids. At some point, you have to put your life in perspective. What matters, what doesn't matter. Sometimes who's right, who's wrong is really not the end game. It'll start the conversation, definitely, because each side will see the other side as being wrong and themselves as being right. But you got to start somewhere and communicate and work together, because that's the only way we're going to make it. All right, guys, have a blessed day, and right out.